What is up, everybody? Hey, I'm here at the church. My beautiful wife, Dari, just got off from work. What's up?
What's
Hey.
up?
And so I'm here at the church a little bit later than normal, but that's because we got a new piece of equipment in. It's a little small thing, but let me show it to you guys and I'll walk you through what we're going to do. So basically, here's the thing. In churches, super common problem is when you want to send data from one area to another. What I mean by that? Well, data can mean video, it can mean audio. And a lot of times you'll have your service happening in the sanctuary and maybe you want to send it to another place, right? So, we have all these different like TVs where the service is sent to. But what we're trying to do is we're actually trying to send it down to that room where my wife was in. That's our fellowship hall. So we use that room for various things, right? We got obviously use it for kids ministry, but we've been using it for funerals. And so this has been our overflow room for funerals. Now I haven't been at the church for very long, but since I've been here, we've had 2 funerals. The first funeral, very full, a lot of people. We had to use overflow room. And what we're doing is, so we don't have an actual line being run to that room. We don't have any line run to that room. So what we've been doing is we just basically stream. We get on our stream and we put the stream in that room, which works. But guess what? If you know anything about streaming, there's a delay. So the problem with that is, hey, we have, our main service going on. We have all these TVs on and they're showing the service too. And a lot of times people will be watching it. We'll have standing room only. We have audio being ran in these halls by speakers in the ceiling. All of that is happening in real time. But because when we stream into our overflow room, there is a delay. It is very noticeable. So if we keep our fellowship hall doors open, you can hear it. It's very distracting. It's distracting if you're in the fellowship hall. It's distracting if you're out here watching from one of the TVs. So I knew all about this from that first funeral we did. I was like, okay, learning things. Yep, we need to fix this. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And then unfortunately, before I fixed anything, like probably about a month later, we had another big funeral as well. So we recently just had that other funeral, and I was like, okay, now this time for sure we need to get this ready. So all we're doing is we're going to make what we use for live stream, our service feed that happens in the sanctuary. We're going to make it go into that room in real time, and let me show you how we're going to do it. Okay, so here's the thing. I am in our tech booth right now, and there's always different ways you can do things. This is probably not the most ideal way of doing things, but we are working with equipment that we have. Let me briefly explain this. Let me flip the camera here. So we have this video matrix, okay? All this is, if you think about it, it's really just an interface. It takes inputs and it sends it to different outputs. There's 4 outputs on this. So right now, like our camera is going in there, and then we can use this to send it to, we can send it to like the projector screen is one of the outputs. Another one is the confidence monitor, right? Now keep that in mind in a moment. I'm going to explain how I'm doing this, but and then we have the other 2 going to the lobby TVs. So we are maxed out in terms of outputs, right? Well, here's the thing though. The computer is just right here, our Mac Mini that we're using for lyrics. So we really don't need that going into the video matrix. It can just go straight into the confidence monitor, and then that opens up one of our outputs. This piece of equipment predates my time here, so this was something that our church spent a couple thousand on, and got it before I was here. I know I say that because there's different ways you can do this. I probably wouldn't have gone this route. I probably would have went with SDI cables, but guess what? This is the equipment we have, and so we're going to make it work. We're going to use what we have, and we're going to make it work, which, in the church world, a lot of times you have to do that because you might not have a huge budget. So there's different ways you can do this. You could run SDI cables, probably one of the most reliable. Another way I would recommend would be running RJ45s, right? You can terminate your own RJ45 cables, then just run Ethernet into that room. We're not even going to do any of that, okay? We're not going to do any of that. What we're going to do is even simpler. We are going to send the video and the audio over our IP, over our network. We're going to run all this video, and we're going to send it out of one of our outputs. We're going to put it into an encoder, which I'll show you in a minute. And then what we're going to do, so this is, again, AV over IP. It's also called NDI. We're going to put NDI software on the computer that's in that other room because it's already set up so we can have whatever's on that computer. We can extend a display to the TVs that are in there. So we're going to just put NDI software onto that computer, which is free. And then we should be able to, in real time, whatever input we're sending to the video matrix, to that output, going into our encoder. So now the video is on our network. We're going to send it into that room, and we're going to access it over our network. So super cool because guess what? We don't have to run any cables. So that part's nice. But we're going to do it that way. If you ever want to try this, or if you're like, oh man, that might be a good idea for my church, you want to make sure, I guess probably the big thing would be to make sure that you have a good network. Make sure that you manage your network well. I am super much about I don't like sharing our network with other people, because on a Sunday morning, we're using a lot, we have multiple computers that we're using. There's a lot of things that are happening on our network. So I don't like sharing our network. Also, the fact that when you share your network, you're opening yourself up to some cybersecurity issues. So, but all that being said, if you end up trying to do this, you probably want to think through that. Make sure that you have fast internet speed. Make sure that your network is in order. And yeah, I think you'd be good. But again, if this was a shorter run, this is a pretty, from this room to that room is a pretty good distance. But if this was a short run, I'd probably just do it over Ethernet or SDI. But again, y'all, we don't have the ability to do SDI. So if we were to do that, we would need to spend more money on hardware, which we're not going to do. So we're going to use what we have, and we're going to make it work. So let me show you what came in the mail today, and we'll go from there. Zowietek. Yeah, this is called Zowietek. Pretty affordable. All this is it is an encoder. Could be also used as a decoder. And what it's going to do is take our signal and it's going to put it onto our network. It's going to take our output. We're going to run that into here by HDMI. And then it'll go out Cat6, and we'll put that into our network switch. So I forgot to mention, basically, why I'm doing this also, we're going to have to reroute our confidence monitor. So the way that this was set up is that it's type C, but then it goes into HDMI. The HDMI input that goes into this video matrix is the confidence monitor, okay? I don't know why, because literally the computer's here and the screen's there, so we don't even need to do that. We can just send from the computer into the confidence monitor, right? So what I'm going to do though is I'm just setting this up. So we're just going to keep it as is for now, right? Like, so confidence monitor is just going to, basically we're not even going to use this really only until we need overflow. So I'm setting this up to just be ready for when we need overflow. And and then when that, in the event of an overflow, which is probably only going to be on funerals, maybe, Christmas and Easter, maybe. But when we need it, so when I know we're going to need overflow room, have this all set up, then I'm going to reroute our confidence monitor. But I'm not actually going to do that today. I'm just going to set it up and make sure it's working. Okay guys, here is the update. Now I know this is not pretty, but we are just trying to make it functional. We're going for function over feng shui right now. And to be honest with you, I think the only time we're ever really going to put this thing out and actually do this is when we have funerals or when we actually need overflow, which probably won't be that often. So it may not even live here. But again, forgive all the messy cables. But so what is happening? Okay, so this is the HDMI cable that's going from our video matrix. Okay, so this is on the video matrix, this is an output, but we have it going into the encoder, going out this blue RJ45 cable. That is going into our network switch. Now I've been able to confirm that we are getting it. So I have two different softwares open here. This right here is just NDI video monitor. It's a free software you can get. But then also Zowietek has their own. This is just like their little GUI that you access over. You look at the IP address that is on the front screen of the encoder, and then you just type it in. And so yeah, we're also accessing it here. My one problem right now is I'm not getting any audio. And so we're going to work with that and try to figure out why I'm not getting audio. And then I'll update you guys in a minute once I get that figured out. Okay, I figured out the audio problem. So all I had to do was go into the audio settings and change this source. It was set to line in, but we're going by HDMI, and saved it. And that seemed to do the trick. At least you can hear. I'll just turn up. Well, okay, there it goes. So that audio, right now I have it just playing from our speaker. I can actually hear myself, so I'm coming in somewhere. But this is just going from ProPresenter, which is going to our live stream, which is now being sent into the encoder. Let's go back to live. Check. Okay, so there you go. You can see signal. Oh, that's why. I have my mic on. Check 1 2. Hey. Okay. Let me mute this. Cool. Okay, so perfect. So yeah, we got audio now. We got video. So yay, we're basically about done. We're just gonna test it. So I'm gonna have my wife go up on the stage, speak into this, and then I'm gonna test it. Basically, I'll test our halls to make sure that those are on sync, the hallway TVs, and then I'll test the fellowship hall, overflow room, and make sure that looks good. So I'll show you guys the software. We'll download that really quick and then we'll get it going. Are you excited to have the microphone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
You can sing Golden. We're going up, da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay guys, we are in our fellowship hall. All you want to do is Google NDI software download. Take you to that first one. This is what it looks like. And we're on in Mac, so we'll take that. And it's downloading. Okay, I had to go into Finder and find it. So we have all of these NDI applications. This is the one we want, video monitor. You can do it! Here it goes. Okay, so this is what you do. We have this black box. You're gonna go up to NDI. Right now it can see our PTZ camera, our PTZ Optics Move 4K, which I really like because that's on our network, but this is what we want. Zowietek. It is Zowie. Zowie. I'm guessing Zowie. Just thought of one thing I should show you guys. When you set this up, you want to make sure for your NDI video monitor to be able to find the encoder. You need to, within the Zowietek, to go to your, where did I go? Whatever this page is. Settings. Was it video? Streaming? Okay, you go streaming, NDI. You want to enable NDI. And then I also enabled NDI discovery, and then save it. It'll have you reboot your encoder, and then you'll be able to find the device. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to find it on NDI video monitor. Click that. Boom. There we got it. Okay, so we'll just move it over here, and we will go full screen. And now we have full screen on those screens. Holla holla. Oh yeah. But guess what? I just realized my one problem, actually it probably won't be a problem. So we have for our soundboard, it's the little, I forget what it's called. It's by Behringer. It's like the rack, not iRack, but the rack. And I'm using the RJ45 cable, the Cat 6, or probably not Cat 6, but whatever it is, the Ethernet cable. I'm using that we normally use to control the soundboard with our tablet to make this whole thing work. But I'm assuming I can still power on the soundboard. I don't know if it needs Ethernet to connect. It might, but I don't know. Let's see. Let's find out. If not, I'm going to have to get another Cat 6 cable from somewhere. And now let's power on the speakers. Okay, so it is working. I can tell because I can hear my wife has the microphone on and she's watching videos on her phone. So I know it's working. I just need her to now go on camera. Look at the tree, y'all, for the kids. The kids are gonna decorate Christmas tree this week. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go have her go to the stage. So yeah, I kind of figured we wouldn't need Ethernet to make the soundboard work. We just need it if we're gonna control the soundboard from an iPad. So we at least have audio. We're good. All right. Can you stand behind the pulpit and talk? Give us your best rap. All right. Here's the moment of truth. Does it work? There's a slight delay. There's a slight latency.
Golden, like golden duck. Lyrics.
So it's working. There's just
I was a ghost, I was alone. Oh.
there is just a slight delay you can notice.
Even if I didn't know how to believe, I was the queen that I meant to be. I lived your life on a bum dime. Going up, 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 it's our moment.
I wonder if there's a setting within Zowietek to adjust that. Let's see if I can get it a little bit closer. It's just like a few milliseconds off. So let's see if I can fix that. Okay, so yeah, in audio settings, this was at 100 something, the bit rate. I'm gonna put it down to the lowest, which should give us the least amount of latency, and we will test it now. Can you keep talking?
I keep talking and talking and talking.
On the microphone.
So listen very carefully.
Let's see if it's good in the hallways and in our overflow room.
And it's our moment. You know,
Ooh, it's still not good.
Gonna be golden. Whoa, whoa, whoa. With our voices.
I thought you guys could hear it. There's just a slight delay.
Gonna be golden. Whoa, whoa.
Yeah. Let's see if restarting the encoder after making that change helps. Let's try that. Let's see, guys. I'm figuring this out too, so let's figure it out together.
We're going up, up, up. It's our moment.
Okay, I mean,
You're together, we're glowing. Gotta be golden.
still there.
Whoa, up, up, up. When I'm
Still there.
gotta be golden. Whoa,
It's not terrible, but it's not perfect, y'all. Not perfect. It's pretty close, but not there. So I might have to do some fine tuning. Another thing I might honestly practically do is just turn down the volume in the halls. So then your audio is mainly coming from that room. It just feels like it's just a little bit slow, just a little bit. A little bit. And I'm not too familiar with this software, so let me see. I'll tinker around with it just a little bit more. But it is a lot better. If you can imagine, like, let's say that this is off by half a second. Well, when we stream into that room, it's off by like 12 seconds. So this is a lot more bearable. And again, we can always turn down the hallway so that way there's just audio naturally flowing in. But let's see if there's something we can do to get it even closer. Let's just see, y'all. Maybe there's something I can find. Let's see. Okay, guys. I went into this encoder settings. I dropped our frame rate on the main stream to 30. And then the bit rate I dropped. It was at 100%. I dropped it to like 80 something. Let's see if that does anything. Babe, can you talk again on the mic? Asawako, can you talk on the microphone? Talk.
Talk to me, I'm not talking to you.
I can still hear it. Still a delay.
I need to talk. I keep talking and talking to you. Alright, so I'm going to read the verse today that I have. It says in Psalms 85:2, you forgave the iniquity of
Yeah, it's still slightly off. All right, gang. There's about a 1 second delay. And I don't know how to fix that. So I'm going to have to do some more research. Maybe you guys know. You can let me know. But it is a big improvement from what we had before. Because before was, again, streaming it is like 10, 12 second delay. So but it's still there. It's still just slightly enough to annoy me. So if you guys know anything, what I changed did not seem to do it. It did not seem to get it perfectly in time. But maybe that's part of just because, we're going over the network. It's not a physical line we're sending over there, but it's just all over Ethernet. So maybe with that, there is a slight delay. It's not bad, but there is a delay. So I guess keep that in mind. And if you guys know of any settings that I could change here to get it closer, let me know. All right. God bless. We'll see you. My final thoughts as we lock up the church. Yes, there's about a 1 second delay. So not perfect. But again, I said this was probably, out of all the options, this was like the third best. So now maybe there's something that I just don't know in settings that I could make it even better. As of right now, I don't know the answer to that. But for a third best option, it gets the job done, and it is a lot better than what it was before with a 12-second delay. So I would say consider it. Definitely consider it if your church is needing to do something like this. If you have a smaller space, probably better to just run Cat 6 and get one of those Ethernet to HDMI adapters. It's probably a better option. Or if you can do SDI, then do that. But for just a quick, easy way to do it all over the network, I think it's actually a pretty solid option. It may need some fine tuning, but yeah, it has about 1 second delay, so keep that in mind.